about?
Oh.
What kind of political bullshit is that?
Teresa, what are you doing?
What is that?
Oh my god, why? Just how does she think she's gonna get away with that? The EU aren't just. No matter what country head of that state is gonna be like. Is she staying in the EU or not? That's all we want to know.
You know?
If you're leaving, which you are next year, leave.
Yeah.
Trying to strike extra
but also,
deals.
it kind of brings the thing, like, if any other country now wants to leave the EU after the UK, which I think some other countries kind of do, because UK might start a president, and the EU might disband.
It might be a new
trend, isn't it?
No, not even that. New continent almost.
Yeah.
It won't be the continent of Europe anymore.
Yeah.
There'll be a small few countries that are Europe, and the rest will be the continent of the UK.
Ayo.
You join the United Kingdoms. It becomes the United Kingdoms.
Ayo, we get our empire back.
Kind of, because that's what it will turn into. If people start joining like Theresa May's movement and Theresa May's ideals, and people start jumping out, they're going to join her group. Maybe not even her group, but the group that the UK have started,
Brexit,
the wave.
Yeah.
And it will just be that there'll be just another Europe.
Yeah.
Just trading between each other.
Yeah, it's gonna turn dumb, to be honest. But like,
what's the point?
Yeah.
Just go back in the circle and
Every-
just go back.
but
And
that's
she'll want to leave. They'll want to leave that.
But every country is gonna want this special deal. Like every country that goes to leave after the UK is gonna be like, so what? You want to give us this deal, but what about that deal you gave to the UK?
Yeah.
What about that free tariff trading? I want that too.
Oh, they were the first. They were first. So
What's this bullshit about they were the first? It would be arms. It would be madness. But the thing that made me laugh the most, the first part was where she said it's important to be straight with people that life would be different outside of the EU. Well, you should have explained that to us before we had the vote.
Too late now.
It's too late now.
Happening, whether it's a big change or not.
What, you trying to calm us down now?
Just trying to flip it around, like, you guys gotta know.
Exactly. We can't just go into this like, I can't do things behind your back anymore, guys. Things get out of hand. What we need to do now is just put all cards on the table. Like, you guys know what's going on, so we can kind of maybe do this coalition thing with the public, kind of work out how to navigate the EU.
And just calm the public down, and then does what she wants anyway.
Yeah.
Madness.
Hey man, conservative power.
Just politicians, man.
Politics, man. Politics are funny nowadays.
Boris Johnson.
Oh, I didn't even take the pictures, did I?
Boris Johnson for Prime Minister. Him and Donald Trump meet up together. It will be banter. I'm telling you.
I couldn't deal with that.
Oh my god.
That would be it.
It would be too funny. Them two,
Can you imagine Boris Johnson?
Boris Johnson met up with the President of the United States today.
And they had tea together. In Trump Tower.
God knows what other shit they get up to like, in that tower, man. But fucking hell.
Yeah. But moving on to the next thing that's going on in the world, I thought this was absolutely hilarious, right? So there were these students that recreated a few film posters, but instead of having the white leads, they replaced them with black leads.
Okay.
So a teenager has spoken of his surprise at seeing his own face on movie posters at bus stops in South London, because that's what they did. They put it in bus stops around South London. It was just like these movie posters. Like, I'll show you. Go back to the article real quick.
Let's see a photo.
But it's like, where is it? Is it here? They had like the In-Betweeners. I can get it back. Oh no, it goes to Instagram or Twitter, wherever it is. Yeah, like In-Betweeners.
That's really funny.
And they had the Harry
Potter.
Potter.
Where did they just Photoshop this, or did they like take it no, that's them.
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
Yeah.
So are these guys in the photo in on it? Or
Yeah. I think. Well, I'll go back to the article real quick. So, see, in South London, Sheldon Teckle was on her way to school when he saw his image in a mocked-up recreation of the poster of the In-Betweeners film. He had created the image as part of a project highlighting the lack of black roles in the media, but said they were only supposed to go online. What's this? Guerrilla advertisers had, unbeknownst to him, placed them around Brixton. The posters show black faces imposed as the lead roles and were recreated by Mr. Teckle, who founded the activist group Legally Black. That's brilliantly named. While at the Advocated Academy and his friends, they were founded online by the Special Patrol Group, who put full-size versions in advertising spaces at bus stops in the capital. The first I knew, this is an account from Sheldon Teckle. He says that the first I knew was when I saw a poster of myself at a bus stop, and it was quite overwhelming actually to see how the project can reach a wider audience. There was a study done in 2006 by the British film industry. Well, that doesn't say industry, that says institute. Showed that black actors were cast in 0.5% of all lead roles in British films released between 2006 and 2016. Wow, 0.5%. All lead roles in British films, black or ethnic minority.
Okay.
But bruv, that's 10 years between.
That's just British films.
That's just British films, but still, 0.5% of all lead roles in British films between 2006 and 2016 were black.
I do think there's more of another reason to that as well. Like,
I know,
there weren't enough like writers that were writing about those things for British films at that time, or there weren't enough people funding it, or there weren't. It wasn't. I don't think it was directly because people were like, "This guy's black. I don't want him in my lead role."
Yeah, of course.
It's just how
the industry is, unfortunately.
How it was made. But like, you could flip it on the other side and be like, "What about the American film industry?"
I don't know about that,
because, like, I know there's been a number of films that have lead black actors in them.
Yeah, of course, but
like,
still, it's a small.
But then again, if you think about how many films are released in the British film industry, there's a lot of really low budget films.
That's true.
A hell of a lot of low budget films.
There's more low budget films that come out there.
Do you know what I mean? And
blockbuster films.
Yeah, and those films are often created by a group of friends or something like that or whatever. So maybe it just means that people with an ethnic background, black or ethnic or whatever, need to just like get together and do more fucking like films British people, British specifically, because there are a hell of a lot of films that are like a low budget, like Attack the Block and shit like that actually because of what it was talking about and the people that was in it, it became more big. Like Kidulthood and Adulthood became so big because it started small. In Kidulthood, it was a low budget film.
I had no idea what Kidulthood was until Adulthood came out, literally.
And they made it more because then they get the funding, they can prove themselves. But like, if more things like that was created, then yeah. But then if you look at the American film industry, that's bare.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Black Panther just came out. I mean, I think there was 0.5% white people in that film. Like,
I don't remember seeing a white.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Happy.
But they must have had one white guy because they had to tick that box.
It was the villain.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Of course, standard.
The villain, was the white devil.
So I think like more, it's kind of like a kick in the teeth to like us people who are ethnic and black, and we should be doing. We should be doing more, like, rather than us complaining about it. It's true. Doing something about it. Like
we should.
Like this guy, yeah. I'm not slating him at all because what he did is actually
he just done it for a project.
But he did it for a project, yeah. But then when he saw this, that's when he realised it could have reached a bigger thing. So if he thought that in the beginning, and he did that from the beginning, this group. Whatever group who did it, the special patrol group, who found him online, and put the full-size versions
in the advertisement.
Like
the bosses,
they were the ones that did it
because they saw this and were like, "Wait, why is it just here?"
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So we you have the idea and you have the start point, but like
you need to put your ideas into action.
And just do it. Like even if it means he has to get together with a couple of friends and just be like, "Look, guys, I've made these. What should we do with them?" Do you know what I mean? And then eventually,
like sometimes
an idea sparks, you just go with it.
Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but sometimes you just have to take that risk.
Yeah, believe in
your idea enough that it will just fly, and even if it doesn't fly, you just learn from what took out your wings, and just regroup and plan again and take another risk.
Yeah, and that's like. I think if you speak to people like Noel Clarke and that, like he wrote and directed Adulthood.
Yeah.
He would have he took a risk doing that, man. But it paid off, like, in the end. And I bet if you ask him how many other risks he took that didn't work out, he'd be like, "Oh, I did better."
Yes, I'm sure he didn't just come up with Kiddo who was just like, this is it.
Made it.
And then he sunk all his money and everything into that, and then he probably did, but I mean, like, that wasn't his only idea. I'm sure he had other things.
Yeah.
He was in fucking Doctor Who, bang bang.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe he wasn't the lead role in Doctor Who, but he was in it. He had a main part in it.
That's
like, I think we're forgetting as well that the lead actor, the lead person, isn't always the best actor or the best person.
Course. Sometimes
no offense to John Boyega's performance in Attack the Block, but I don't think he was the best actor in that film. But he was the main. He was the lead.
Yeah, of course.
And just because the lead is a black guy or an ethnic guy or girl, it doesn't mean that role is, the greatest role. That actor is the greatest actor either. But even for someone to be there are so many supporting actors and supporting roles that are just actors, do you know what I mean? You're just like, that was sick. Like, just, I don't know what people's want to be the lead role, want to be the number one guy, but that number one guy ain't always the greatest.
Yeah, man. You do always remember number one, but like at the same time, number 2, number 3, they put in work, and you remember them just as much.
Like Tony Stark ain't a black guy, and Thor ain't a black guy, but there are ethnic and black guys in the Avengers team and the squad who are gonna have important fucking roles, man. Like,
the one thing I was upset about was like when Green Lantern came out. The Green Lantern I grew up with. No offense, to who played Green Lantern? Ryan Gosling, was it?
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds? One of the Ryans. Ryan Reynolds played him. No offense to his performance. I thought it was a good film, but the Green Lantern I grew up to in the cartoons was this black guy. And they are going to remake the film, and they're going to put him in, so I'm happy about that, but I was so upset. I was like, what is this? There's a white Green Lantern?
I think it depends on what comics you read as well,
that's true.
And what you grew up on. But I think they took a risk as well, and at that moment in time, there wasn't a black actor that stood out that could have just jumped in that role. I don't think. Like, they could have put Will Smith. They could have done a Will Smith thing, but I don't think he was ready. He wasn't mature, like, on that level yet. Like, I think Will Smith's gonna do great stuff. He's still